Hello my friends and welcome to Flying Circus Models. Here's the second part of my current project Sopwith 1.5 Strutter from Roden painting. Once the cockpit was ready to be closed, I put a glue on both fuselage halves and attached them one to each other. You need to be very careful with placing joints, especially on the top, in order not to sand the rib imitation later. After the glue dried, I attached the fuselage to the bottom wing. No cut was used and you just need to press, hold and glue each side. Now it's time to put the pilot seat on its place. As you can see, there was no problem with attaching it. After the gluing fuselage halves, the glue damaged the interior paint on the edges. First, I thought it will be barely seen and I wanted to leave it as is, but I decided to paint it over. I used just a regular painting brush instead of airbrush and Mr. Hobby sales color. Also, one more little detail that you might not see when the model will be finished, a fuselage cross-rigging. It looked empty, so I decided to add that detail. The top fuselage part also was glued on its place. I used a lot of super glue as a putty on the bottom fuselage joint and when it dried, sanded it with the 600 grit sandpaper. Both wings ailerons come in one piece with the wings, so I used a small razor to cut it a little bit and to show that they're supposed to be the separate elements. Same thing I did with the elevator on the tail. And now the model is ready to be painted. So I covered the top wing and the fuselage with Mr. Surfacer 1000 primer. By the way, if you haven't done this yet, please subscribe to my channel to see more my builds. This time, to make shades on the wing ribs, I didn't cut masking tape and used 2mm size for the main ribs and 1mm on the short ones. If you can find this masking tape size online, definitely buy them, it can save you a lot of time. Once the whole plane, top wing and the tail were masked, I painted the model over the ribs with the black color. And the next step is a very satisfying one, removing all that masking tape. All bottom sides were painted with Vallejo beige color. In order to have that shade effect, you need to spray the paint with a couple of very thin layers. Same technique was used for upper sides. For the imitation of PC10 color, I used Mr. Color Dark Green Nakajima color number 129. The cowl and other metal parts on the front of the fuselage were painted with aluminum color. And yes, my airbrush had bubbles because I didn't screw the nozzle properly after cleaning. And that's how the paint job looks like when it's completed. The next step is to prepare the model for decals and covering it with the layer of feature. When it dried, I used microset salt solution before and after applying decals respectively. As usual, we need to remove all air bubbles from decals and cut them on the aileron parts. To be honest, this time I was pleasantly surprised with the Roden decals quality. They didn't break, they were very thin, and with the help of solutions, they covered stitching on the right side of the fuselage really awesome. So what can I say? Well done, Roden! And the final step is to protect decals and cover them with the one more layer of feature. As usual, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, press like button and leave your comments below. I read and reply to all of them. Also, if you would like to support my channel, you can do it on Patreon, where you can see my videos early. Also, I share some interesting pictures there. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episodes.